Hi guys, and welcome back from Carly at the Herbathicary. Really good to see you guys again. If you're new to the channel or like the videos, please show your support by hitting like and subscribe down below. So a quick disclaimer, this video is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a doctor or an ethnobotanist. I own a lot of good guidebooks and have been doing this for a while. So please always do your own thorough research first. Don't pick anything unless you're 100% sure of what it is. Check with a book, check with the internet, check with an experienced forager that might know more than you. Always make sure you've got the landowner's permission before you pick anything. Avoid areas of high pollution where they might have used pesticides, and pick as high as you can to avoid where animals might have sprayed. Do not pick endangered species. Please always make sure that you only take as much as you need. Leave some for the creepy crawlies and the birds. And it is advisable to leave your forage finds outside for at least half an hour in a cool place so that any of those creepy crawlies can find a new home. And always thoroughly wash your findings before you use them. So we made the best of a rather disappointing summer this year. The kiddies have all been back at school for 4 days now, and the girls and I thought that we would take a break from our lessons and go out and have some fun. We went to the beach, we went and played in the forest, and then on our way home we came across this black walnut tree. We popped in and asked the gent who runs the place, and he said he was just about to prune it back as it was going over the fence and into the street. So we were more than welcome to pick any of the low-hanging fruit as they were that was going over into the road. Now, if you see my previous videos, you might have seen, I think last year we did a video on natural paints, and the girls and I have been looking into natural versions of clothes dyes and things like that recently, and we came across walnuts, or black walnuts, in this process. Apparently the colonists used to use them to dye their uniforms, and apparently, although I can't find proof of this, a little bit further back people used to use it to tan their skin if they were in an unknown land and wanted to look darker. So I have left these ones out on my dehydrator. I didn't actually put them in the dehydrator, but they were out there for a few days because research showed that the more weathered that they are, the more darker the dye is. So today we are going to try process them to make both a linen dye and a self-tanning lotion and see how that goes. So I have my gloves at the ready because I don't want my hands getting dyed, and I'm just going to be using a knife to peel off some of that the shell that's on the nuts. I don't want to taint the experiment by just using my bare hands. Plus, from what I've seen, once you do get the dye on your skin, it can leave you dyed for up to a month, sometimes longer. And I don't want to look like I have a chronic smoking issue with yellow fingers. I am going to cut the pieces quite small as I want to reveal as much of the plant material as possible so that as much of that can actually infuse. Now we are going to be making, as I said, a water infusion for the linen dye, and we'll be making a coconut oil infusion for the self-tanning lotion. So I have two stainless steel pots. I didn't want to use any of my other pots as I didn't want to dye them, and I do use these ones for most of my topical products so that no food goes in them in case anything does get absorbed into them. So I'm literally just snipping off bits by bits, and I won't make you suffer through all of this because I do have about 40 of them to go through. In the part for the water infusion, I will be adding the nuts. I'm only going to be simmering it, and I will be giving these nuts back to the earth for the squirrels. But in the oil infusion, I only have those husks, as I don't have that much oil and I do want it to cover all of them. And obviously if I did, heat them up in oil, then I'm not sure anything would want to eat them. So in part number 1 with the nuts and the husks, I'm just filling that with boiling water at the moment. And then in part number 2, I'm just going to add some of the coconut oil that we have left over. Unfortunately, the top was a bit greasy, so I needed the help of a tea towel. Now I'm just going to add, luckily it's actually quite warm in my pantry, which probably isn't a good thing, so it's quite soft still. So I'm just going to add enough to completely cover all of the plant matter. Now we're making something for topical use. I would normally add like a grapeseed oil or an avocado oil, but as they already have their own color and I really want to see how much of the color is absorbed into the oil, I'm sticking with just the coconut oil in this one. I did, however, after about half an hour, realize that I didn't quite like the smell. So I did add some lavender sprigs out of the garden, as I will obviously be putting this on my body and I will have to deal with the smell. So hopefully it'll absorb some of that lavender scent as well and make it a little more bearable. After about an hour of simmering, I did think that I'd try an experiment. So I have this cotton white pouch that I use to wash the kids' shoes in. So I thought I would try the dye on that. So I'm going to dip that in and leave that. And I'm actually going to leave everything to simmer for another hour or so because I'm a bit unsure it's strong enough. But after 2 hours, I decided that rather than just strain out the oil that I'll be using as a tanning lotion, I am actually going to pop everything in a jar and allow that to infuse for a few more days. I find hopefully, or I think hopefully, that by letting it absorb for a bit longer in a cold infusion, it'll possibly make the tanning oil a bit stronger. Who knows? Let's see. But so far the dye seems to have taken quite well. She won't know until I've stuck it through a wash and then dried it to see the tone. But after a wash it's still quite brown, so I'll pop it out to dry and we'll see when it is dry, I guess. I can't see too much of a difference on the tanning oil as yet, but that might be because I've got lots of freckles. But once the cotton sack has dried, it has clearly permanently dyed it, but it did get a lot lighter. I did continuously reapply the walnut oil on that arm area for every hour for the next 6 hours or so, and it wasn't until the next morning that I actually noticed a difference, so it maybe just takes some time to take effect. I do advise that everybody does a skin allergen test before trying this, as I do know some people have had a reaction to the chemical compounds within the black walnuts, but I wouldn't say that this is a bad all-natural self-tanning lotion. I've had no issues whatsoever, no itching, no redness, a little bit of brownness. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it interesting. Let us know if you guys know of any other natural dyes that you've tried, how well they work, and obviously leave a comment in the comment section below. Hit like and subscribe if you like the videos, and then I'll keep making more. Again, thank you guys for coming back to the apothecary. It was great to see you again. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you guys again soon.